Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today marks 2 weeks since I started Muay Thai, since I joined my local Muay Thai gym. And I've got to say, I can't recommend it enough. I love it, and at the same time, I absolutely hate it. The sessions are incredibly brutal. They are so exhausting. Every session, I am completely drenched in sweat. I can't see because of the sweat keeps going into my eyes. I can't wear my glasses because my nose becomes so slippery that my glasses just fall off. I'm on my backup pair of glasses right now because I broke my main pair because my glasses kept falling off my face. That I put them on the floor and someone stepped on it. And they didn't step on it on purpose. They stepped on it because I put it in the most stupidest place possible. Instead of putting like on the side on a bench, I literally just put it just directly on the floor and somebody just stepped on it. But it's been amazing because the sessions themselves I hate. I don't look forward to the sessions. On the day I procrastinate going to the session. I'm just like, do I want to go? I don't want to go, and I have to convince myself. But right after I'm done, the sense of respect and confidence and like self-love that I have for myself is incredible, because it takes a special kind of discipline, and it takes a special kind of person. I'm not trying to say it's special, but it takes a special kind of discipline. It takes a special kind of man to show up at a place that demands his all 3 times a week, completely destroys him, completely exhausted. It takes a special kind of person. So when you do that 3 times a week, every session, once you finish, once you leave, you're like, damn, I'm capable of more than I expect of myself. Because before I started, I was just like, oh well, I hope it's not going to be too difficult. And then I joined, I did the first session, I went, that was hard. I don't want to come back. I don't want to train for 1 second longer. And then 2 days later, I was back in the gym. And it was hard again. And I hated it. And I was drenched in sweat. And my knees hurt. And my elbows hurt. And my shins hurt. Because I'm punching the bag. And I'm elbowing the bag. And I'm kneeing the bag. And I don't have the conditioning to, be able to do it and so effortlessly. And, like I'm a bit awkward, like with my moves and stuff. Because, I'm new. I'm a beginner. I'm not used to it. And when I'm elbowing the bag, like this is a condition that I have weak elbows because obviously, as you train Muay Thai and you constantly elbow a bag or a person, you develop stronger elbows. My elbows are weak, so when I'm elbowing it, it hurts. I'm doing it and I'm tired because I don't have the cardio for it. And I'm kneeing the bag and I'm tired. I'm like, and the coach goes, another 40 seconds, and I'm like, another 40 seconds. I'm at my limit, but then another 40 seconds I'm just like kneeing the bag. Sorry, I know I'm in my car and it's a bit awkward. I'm just kneeing my steering wheel. I'm just kneeing. I'm like, and he's like, I want you to breathe. I want you to control your breathing. So I'm like, trying to control my breathing, and it's amazing. If you're someone who doesn't currently do any martial arts, I would highly recommend doing one of them. I'd highly recommend doing Muay Thai. But if you can't do Muay Thai, if there's no Muay Thai gyms in your area, then they're not that good, then I just recommend just doing any martial arts, because just the sense of confidence you gain and the sense of respect you have for yourself is incredible. It's something you can't fake. It's like you can't get it from like scrolling through TikTok or playing video games, because like when you play a game and you beat a hard level, you feel you're like, yes, I beat it. But like physically, you're very comfortable. You're in your bed, you're chilling, you're thinking. Only your brain has to work a little bit hard, like, oh, how do I beat this boss? But when you are your own enemy, when you have to fight against yourself and you win, oh my god, it is incredible. It feels amazing when you are at your limit and you're like, another 40 seconds because the coach said so, and you're just doing it, and then the session ends, and then you're just drenched in sweat and you're just looking at yourself. You're like, most men can't do this. Most people wouldn't put themselves through this. So the fact that I can do this, and I'm part of this exclusive community of these brothers here who also share the same amount of discipline and and enthusiasm and passion as me, it feels good. It feels amazing. I'm surrounded. I'm the hometown I'm from. We are notorious. We are known for having the people like around my age, the teenagers, the guys, they are very weak with their discipline. They chill out on the streets in gangs, sell drugs, take drugs, don't respect their parents, don't respect their teachers. When I entered that room, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm joining a fighting gym. There's gonna be a lot of fighters in here. I'll find a lot of people who are, quite violent, quite rude, people that I, probably saw in school and didn't want to like, cross paths with because they were like really rude, and like if I just cross paths with them, they'll jump at any opportunity to hit someone. So if I walked in front of them, they'll just hit me. In school, if you've ever experienced a bit of bullying. So I thought, I'm gonna join this gym. It's gonna be full of bullies. No, this gym is full of people exactly like me. People that are, people that are fat, people that are skinny. Some people that are very strong built, but they're strong and built because they've been going for a few years. But they don't start off that way. And then the other people I see that are like me, they're also like, they can't fight that well. They don't have a lot of confidence. They don't have a good like physical body. They're not very strong, but they want to be. And so they're there because they want to discipline themselves and become that person. They want to become that guy. They want to become a person that can defend themselves, can defend their family, defend their spouse, defend their children, defend their parents, to look after themselves and look after the people around them. That's the people that I saw in that gym. When I walked in there, I thought, shit, yeah, I shouldn't swear. I walked in there, I was like, oh my god, like, there's going to be loads of people that I'm not going to like here, basically. I thought there's going to be people that, will look down on me. But nobody looked down on me. They saw me as someone who, just stepping in the gym was, hard enough. And then when they saw me at the second session or the third session, they had respect for me. They were like, it was quite difficult for me when I started, and I can see you that you're putting your effort in, you're trying your hardest. We respect that. And what's it called? Literally on the second session, I was gifted. Some guy gave me some gloves. He literally gifted me these gloves. He was just like, oh, what's it called? You probably need to get some gloves. Here, take mine. Literally gave me, like, they weren't his current gloves. They were his like slightly old gloves that he bought. But he's like, yeah, take my gloves. So now I have his gloves completely for free. The people over there look after you. And the coach, within 3 seconds of meeting this guy, I was scared of him. Within 3 seconds of meeting him, he was staring into my eyes, deep into my soul, lecturing me, telling me off for the way I came in. Because my mannerisms were a little too off. My shoulder was too slouched. He said, I want you to walk around like a fighter. When you came in, you didn't look like a fighter. While I was listening to him, I started nodding my head, as in, okay, I understand. Okay, because that's what I do to all my elders. In the past as well, any teachers at school, if they were talking to me, especially if they were telling me off, I would nod out of respect, like, okay, I'm listening. And he went, why are you nodding at me? He's like, it worries me when you nod at me, because if you can't even control your own body, how are you supposed to control your mind? And I was like, damn, okay, fair enough. This is strict and this is discipline. I knew it was strict. I knew it'd be discipline. I don't know it'd be this strict and this discipline, because he said, I want to shape you into a fighter. But as you currently are, if you can't even stop yourself from reacting to my words by nodding your head, then I can't turn you into that person. I can't turn you into a fighter. And I was like, damn, yeah, fair enough. And the entire session, he was just instilling discipline into all of his students, especially me, because I was new, and because I was the beginner who's paying special attention to me. He was telling me off for everything, and he was like, look at him, and I looked at them, and they would like they were in you could tell how much discipline he had instilled into all of his students, and he's like, I want you to be like them. I was like, okay. And then when we were training, they were training hard, so I was like, I'm going to train hard as well. So I gave it my all. I was drenched in sweat. I was tired. I was hammering the bag, okay, because we were doing conditioning, we were doing some bag work. I was hammering the bag, punching it, elbowing it, kneeing it, everything he asked. And when he was just like, okay, another 20 seconds, and he's like, do some push-ups now. And at the end of the session, I think this is my first session, by the way. At the end of the session, I had a medicine ball, and I was dropping the medicine ball onto my stomach, and I was literally clenching, and I was dropping the medicine ball onto my stomach. And he kept telling me off. He was just like, why aren't you smiling? He's like, if you give me those expressions, another 40 seconds, or everybody has to do another 40 seconds. And then I was still trying so hard not to show how much pain I was in, and I was literally like this, like dropping it, and he's just like, if I'm telling you the one last time, Isan, if you do it again, like if you keep those expressions, you have to do 100 push-ups before you leave. And I was there literally trying so hard to fight my own body. I was fighting myself. I was constantly in a fight with myself, because he was telling me, because he wanted me to be a perfect fighter. He wanted me to be a very well disciplined person, and I wasn't that person. I thought I was well disciplined when I walked in. And then I realized, when I saw these people in immense pain but with smiles on their faces, or a blank stone face expression, I realized, damn, he means complete control over your own body. And it was incredible. I was just like, what the hell? What did I sign up for? But I loved it. And just to end off this video, at the end of the session, just before I was about to leave, he looked at me, and he looked at a few of the other students, and he started roasting me. He started grilling me. He started saying very hurtful comments towards me. He looked at me and he said, look at you, you're skinny. I would never let my daughter marry you. I would never ever let my daughter marry you, because how would you be able to protect them? Look at you, you're skinny, you can't fight, and what's it called? You know, you can't stand up for yourself. And then he started pointing out the other fighters. He's like, I'd let my daughter marry him. I'd let my daughter marry him, because look at him. At least, you know, if somebody was to approach him, they'd be like, okay, maybe he could hold his own. But they wouldn't even look twice at you, because they'd look at you and be like, he doesn't even deserve, he's not even worth a fight, because it would be that easy. That's what he said to me. He said, if somebody was to approach you, you'd be so easy that they wouldn't even try to fight you. So when he was saying that to me, I felt empowered, because I didn't feel like he was bullying me and he was, you know, trying to make everyone laugh at me. What he was doing was, he wanted me to understand the reality of who I currently am. I'm currently someone who is skinny, who is fragile, who can't fight, who would most likely lose most fights that he gets in with, and wouldn't even try and get into a fight because he know he'd lose. That's what he was reminding me of, that is what I currently am. And thankfully, I'm someone who's kind of self-aware. I already knew that. So when he told me that, I was just like, okay, yes, you see straight through me. You're not someone who's, you know, trying to beat around the bush, who lies like, oh no, don't worry, you'll be okay. He was being straightforward and honest. This is who you are. And he was saying it because he cared for me. And he wanted me to know that, because he wanted to change that. He didn't want me to stay like this. He even said during the session, he was just like, you remind me a lot like my nephew. You remind me a lot of my nephew. And so I'm going to look after you. So that's what he said. And then he destroyed. He gave me a brutal workout, and he completely destroyed me. And then he said at the end, look, you're a skinny twig, and I wouldn't let my daughter marry you. Because he said all that because he really, really wanted to test how much I could take, how much I could mentally take, you know, from his hurtful words, and how much I could physically take from his grueling workout. And then when I came into the next session and I stepped in, he immediately pointed out, like, someone who'd been there for about 20-30 years, someone who was like his like one of the other coaches, and he went, this guy here, this first session, he trained harder than I've seen some people train in 6 months, in 8 months. This guy over here, I like him. Do you know how honorable that felt? Do you know how honorable that felt, that in front of the entire gym there's like 20-30 people here, and he's specifically calling me out because he sees potential in me. This guy wasn't there to bully me. He was here saying these hurtful things, hurting me a lot, because he wants to shape me into someone that can look after themselves and can walk around with confidence, knowing that, you know, people can't take advantage of me. People can't, you know, hurt me or hurt my loved ones. That's what he wanted to instill within me. And so when I left my first session and my second session and my third session, and currently I'm on my 6th or 7th, I want to go back, and I want to keep going back, and I want to see, you know, how much potential I truly have, how far I want to test my limits. I want to push my limits. And so I would recommend you, if you're watching this, please, if you're a young man, especially if you're a young man like myself, especially if you're someone who can't fight, or even if you think you can fight, trust me, you can't. Join a martial arts gym, join a Muay Thai gym.